Hi friends, welcome to Aishu's DIY. This is a necklace project we are designing with Bargain Bead box subscription for the month of May 2022. And we have this beautiful palette, pastel colors we had, and pastel colors or something like very mild and stuff like that. It's not overpowering, but since this cat's eye finish bicones are new, I wanted to try with the purple, green, and the citrine color combination. So there is a pink version too in the box. So I didn't include the pink version. If you want, you can include it. So this finding, we had two of these findings. We can either use it for earring. First, I thought I will use it for a earring, which will be like this. We got this lamp work bead, and this was very pretty as well, but I decided to use it in a different way. So here we have this leaf carved pendant. This is a citron gemstone carved pendant, and then it has a hole from the front to the back, I would say. So I want to create a focal like this, and I want to create a necklace like this. For this, I took beaded on bead stringing wire 19 strand in the gold color. I have only gold and silver, so I'm using that. If you want a different color, you can use it. And we need some crimp tubes or crimp beads, whichever you have available, and these leaf citrine color beads that we got from the box as well, and the toggle clasp that we got from the box, and then this yellow color stone that we got from the box. I'm using all of those, but some beads, as you can see, doesn't have see this is sliced into half, so I'm going to discard these beads which are not okay to use. I mean, I can't use that, right? There was one more, which is this right here. As you can see here, but I don't want to use those too, but the rest of the beads we will use here. And this is the pattern that I'm going to follow. I have made a sample and created if I like it. I'm using some beads from my stash, which is going to be this copper spacer bead, this metallic copper beads, the round spacer beads, which is plain. This one is, I think, 3mm. This one is probably 5mm or so. This is a decorated spacer bead. I wanted to use spacer beads. I feel that it will increase the beauty of the necklace at the end of the day. I really stick to only the beads in the bargain bead box, but this time I just want to explore a little bit more. So that's what the idea behind it. So here we go. I'm gonna take off my thing. As you can see, there's a little bit of a kink in the wire, if you can see here, but that's okay. I like to work with a spool. If you want to cut, you can cut about, say, 26 to 30 inches of wire, actually more than that, but I just want to work with the spool, right? It's easy for me to work with the spool. I just, as you can see, there is kink in the wire because I did that, but that's okay. But first we will create the focal. I want to add this pendant to this. For that you need 26 or 24 gauge copper wire, whichever you want, you have in your stash, you can have it. So I bought this on Mercari. This is anti-copper half round 21 gauge soft flex wire. I just want to try and use it. I know it's used for a different purpose. I just want to try and use this, but you can use any wire you have. I don't have a 24 gauge in anti-copper at the moment, so I want something which is a little bit thicker. And then I'm gonna cut myself about, say, 6 to 8 inches Actually, we don't need that much. Let me just measure how much I have here. This will be probably about 6 inches. Okay, so it's a half round wire, so the inside will be flat and the outside will be domed half. So that's what it will be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert it like that. You can use a regular wire, as I said. I just want to use this to support it. So just fold this into half, take this shorter wire and just wrap this down, right? I'm just going to bring this around here and curl this up. So this is, as I said, this is not a plain wire that you can curl, you can make a swirl out of. It's like a half rounded wire, so that you need to keep a watch on. And I didn't do a good job of swirls. That's because the wire dimension is different. It's always on a 3D effect kind of a thing, but I managed to make a swirl for myself right there, right? So now what I'm going to do is take my roundness pliers, okay, and I can feel the wire and see which side it is. So I just bend it in the top, reposition my wire and come back around. It's very soft and pliable. That's what I'm feeling it. So here we go. I have attached it here. And then take this wire, hold on to that loop, take this wire and wrap it around. That looks kind of pretty for me. It's long, but I really like that look. I can hang some more dangles right there. I'm thinking if I can bring this down right here and that looks cool as well, in my opinion. Just take this and somehow I need to attach this, right? So I take this, I bring it inside this wire if possible. So take it. I haven't played with this wire at all. I just bought it recently and I just wanted to, use it. Yep, that's good. And then take it, if I can. I should have cut a little bit more. Whenever you are experimenting or you don't know where you're taking the project, just save yourself and cut a little bit more for you guys. See this? I just made a small wrap right there, and I really like the way it looks. It's very organic look, and that's that. we have created a focal right there. If you want, you can add more dangles here, but I really like the look of this, so I'm sticking on to my design element right here. Okay, now the time for us to start the bead stringing project. As I said, you can do a wire wrapping project. It'll be awesome, no problems whatsoever, but I'm doing a bead stringing project, right? So first of all, I will put this aside, and I'm going to add jump rings to this to attach it to my necklace. You can use multiple jump rings. I'm planning to use at least 3 or 4 jump rings. Let me see if I have, or I shall make some, is what my thinking is. Yeah, I don't have much of a copper jump ring. I'll make some jump rings for myself. I have a video of how to make jump rings in my channel. Go ahead and watch it, but we will start stringing our beads. So first I'm gonna start with this bead right here, and so for example, I really like to use some seed beads in between my project, and I like to use the ones which is not you know which is not branded, because it's just stringing, but this color doesn't look very good. So I'm thinking, should I change this color to something else? Because I don't have much. I have only gold. I don't have a copper tone spacer bead. Okay, I will stick to this, is what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna do the center part of the necklace. Okay, I'm gonna pick up the light color beads, the ones this is also cut into half, which I shall not use it. So I will use this one right here. Okay, this is also a little bit damaged, but it's okay, not that bad. I think it can use a bead or two, is what my thinking is. Let me see if I can add a spacer bead here as well, because that kind of looks good to me. Right, yeah, that kind of looks good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a bicone right there and another purple bead right here. So that's gonna be my pattern. You can form pattern like we have so many two other color purple beads, which is a crystal right there. In our stash you can use the black and the purple bead, that you can use it. I'm seeing whether I like this pattern or not. I like it because I want to include the green whatsoever, so that way my project will incorporate the 3 colors that I chose for this necklace. A copper spacer, I need to get more of the copper seed beads, that way it will look really good. So here we go, I have added all of these, and then a purple, I'll do one more. Right, and then a copper bead, citrine color 1, and then a purple. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is take my wire. This is a different pattern I'm following. When I come in the center, I'm following a different pattern. So I take this and then add so I was adding this bead right here. That's okay. So I take this, I add a spacer, I add this. So there is two parts, two sides in this left to right drilled leaf pendant. There is an indented side and there's a flat side. I want the indented side to come here, so come on the top, so I'm putting as it is. That way, see, I forgot my pattern already. I should have kept a sample of it, which I normally do. Okay, and then the leaf pendant, the green one, and this one right here, and come back through that 8mm gemstone and see if it looks good. See these two beads right here? Kind of looks good in my opinion. So here I will add a different one. So let's do this. Take these. Let's start the pattern here with this spacer right here. Sometimes these spaces are blocked by some dust particles while they make or something like that. So just watch out for that, and then if you push it a couple of times it will go through. Don't think that there is no hole out there. And I like this better than that, right? So maybe I will remove this. Now a purple, a green, a purple, then this decorated spacer or citrine. I don't remember what is this exact bead, but I just call it citrine. There is also citrine gemstone chips that you can add. That's also an option, but I like this for this project. So now you add this, okay, and then add a bicone maybe. No, we have this, right? So we add a spacer, a bicone, and you take the leaf. So the indented side is the side we want it to be. I want it to be that way. You can choose whichever way you want, but if you add it here, this way. That's the way you want it to sit. Then again a spacer. So if you bring it like this, it's facing on the top side. But when you bring this wire around the bead, then it will come down. Now you can understand what I'm saying right here, right? So here we go. If you push this bead is not going on top of that spacer. So the ball spacer was perfect, but in here you will see the wire through. But it's okay to expose the beetle on bead stringing wire because it's a gold one. But if that was bothering you, then you can probably, that might bother me also. See that? Now it's going, but I don't think so it can sit properly if you're doing a long stretch. If you're doing a short stretch, that should be perfect. Otherwise it won't be a perfect fit. Let me just try and see if I add one more. See, all are blocked. There we go. So now you see this. This is how it looks. I think it should be done pretty good. It should be fine. That's what I'm thinking. So that's that. And then we continue with a bead and then again one more. So you can add it here as well, or you can continue with, now you can add, I'm gonna poke this a little bit and clear out all the holes. As you can see, I told you there is some kind of a dust particle there. That's what happens most of the time. This one is also going through, but has so much debris inside that's blocking the whole of it. There we go. That's good. This is good. I think everything is good. Let's continue our design. Having one of this, one of that, and then a purple one. Now we are ready to add our dangle, which will be the spacer, the bicone, and then the leaf. I wanted it to do this way, then a spacer, right? See, when you add it to your work, it should face up. So when you take the wire and pass it through the gemstone bead, then it sits perfectly. Okay, I forgot the spacer again here. So now I need to take this off and restring every single bead. Just make sure that you do it in the order. Take the gemstone, the spacer, the bicone. So this is the pattern I am going to follow. So can you see there is that bead that has a little bit of a crack right there, but I think it should be fine. But I can also change that. Sorry about that. That's why I take imperfect beads and then put it on the side. But this color, for this color, it was hard to find. First the gemstone, then the spacer. These spacers are from bbcraft.com. I bought a while ago when they had a sale. Regular price, I don't get it. It's expensive, I feel, the regular price. But when it comes on sale, it's like 20 to 30% off, then it's worth to get it. Take it off, then come back through the gemstone around, and then pull everything down to your work. Okay, so this, you cannot be very tight beading right there. It should be a little bit loose, and I'm seeing if there is a long gap. I don't like this long gap kind of, because I want my pendant to come as well in the middle, so I can not have a long gap. So I'm thinking of continuing this pattern here and here, like not leaving a long distance. I'll come back figuring it after I figure that out. Hi friends, welcome back. I did go ahead and restring it. I really like how the way it turned out to be. Now is the time to add the pendant, and I made some jump rings for myself. These were big, so I made again 4 jump rings. So what I'm gonna do here is take my jump rings, right, and put it in the loop. It's better to have, a plier, a needle nose, or not the tweezer nose. 2 bent nose pliers is awesome. See, I want it to be closed completely. So what I want to do is, you don't have to actually close it there, right? You can just slip it in. So I just want to make my jump ring completely closed, just like that, and see to it it's completely closed. And add the jump rings to the pendant. So I'm gonna add 3 jump rings. It's pretty thick also. It's 18 gauge, so 3 is not needed per se, but I really like to be safe than sorry. I love the pendant, so I just want to make sure it's nice and secure. So I'm adding 3 jump rings to my work right here, and I'm using 2 bent nose pliers to do this. You can use any 2 pliers you want, flat nose, needle nose, and then just slip these jump rings in our necklace pattern. I know it goes over on top of this small bead, so I'm thinking what to do here. Maybe add, so That's the design process I have been thinking about for a while now. So either add a bead right here and then a bead right here, or we can just add this, but this definitely will go on top of this. This is how it will look. I think I like the look of it rather than, it needs to be so, but the lighter color version is good because I'm thinking about it. So this is one look. So let's try the other one as well. So take this off and take a bead, and then we will add the 3 jump rings and then a bead, and then our spacer and 6mm bead. So this is how it will look. See, this is actually nice, but the only issue for me is there is a gap, right? There's a gap, which also looks good. I think I will continue like this. So now again a spacer, then our purple bead. So I will continue like this. Okay, go around, form the circle, add the teardrop, and then do it. I like this. I'll be back. Hi friends, welcome back. I did finish this necklace almost. I strung these necklace with all of these patterns circled, and then when I continued here, I continued the pattern, but I added 2 of the purple beads separated by the bicones, and then here again I included the spacer, which is a little bit decorative, and then I came towards the plain metallic beads that we added here. So I did all of that, and then I really liked the way it turned out to be. So this is the length I want it to be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm adding a crimp tube. I'm adding a golden crimp tube because I don't have one copper, and I'm going to take this toggle clasp, one of the toggle clasps, and put it through this loop right here we have, and then come back here and go through the bead and go through one more bead if possible. That's this, and then pull everything down nice and tight. We don't want this to be extremely short in the sense that and also we don't want the wire to be crisscross. See how parallel nicely it is sitting right next to each other. If you do it very tight, the movement here will be very stiff. So I don't want this to be tight, but at the same time I don't want it to be loose. That is about say right for me. When I press it down, it will give more space for this to move. I want this to move freely. So I just add all of these beads. You can snip off this excess wire after the gemstone bead right there, and then what you can do here is push all the beads down. That's gonna be a little bit tricky here because of this thing. So I'll show you guys how I did it. Right, push all of these beads down. When you come to this pattern right here, what you do is you pull up this wire right here, just like that. Be very gentle and then pull it right there. See how it gets reduced? The same way. That's how I figured out the distance, because I was working with the spool and then I needed more wire. This is how I moved everything and then got my wire up. So gently move it and don't try to do it very tightly. I find the wire being very brittle and kinked if you do this tight. So you just move it like that. And like this. And as I said, in this pattern, it's always good to leave a little bit of a distance than not leave a distance, because if it is way too tight, the way this will sit will be very stiff and it will be popping up, which we don't want, right? So see this, if whichever way it lays flat is the one that you want to. So just gently move this right here and right there and see if everything is in place. If it is not, go ahead and tighten it up more. And this is how I did it, to give me more space on the other side to work with, because I wasn't I didn't know ahead of time how much it is. But I can tell you guys now how much wire you need exactly for this process and this project. If we are doing the same count of beads and tangles that I have created here using the Bargain Bead box subscription for this month, I can give you guys the details so that you don't have to do the guesswork. Right here. Yes, now everything is nice and I have more of this bead. So what I'm going to do is, this is the length I want and I really like the comfortable, this length is comfortable for me for this type of work. So I have left some wire, 1.5 inches of wire, and I'm going to take my crimp tube and the other end of the toggle clasp and then come back through the crimp tube right here and through the metallic bead and through the gemstone, and then you pull that, hold the toggle end and then pull this wire tightly so that it's nice and right next to each other. And I want you guys to see the flow of the necklace. It's not very tight. And then now I have this. So when you're ready to crimp, go ahead and crimp. And as I said, don't pull it this way too tight, otherwise it won't sit properly. So now that I have finished my necklace, I really like the way it turned out to be. I hope you guys like this too. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you know the drill. I really appreciate it if you guys share it with your friends and family. That really helps me. I love this toggle clasp, it's very, very cute. So this is the necklace. Very nice toggle, and here is the main part of the necklace. Try this out. If you guys like it, please do leave me a comments. I would love to read your comments. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day and bye.